White Lotus episode 4 is definitely the calm before the storms. The pieces are falling into place and the mysteries we've been following are finally beginning to take shape. Warning, major spoilers ahead from this point forward. Right off the bat, we might have just seen our first real clue about the hotel robbery attempt from episode 1. It's looking more and more like Valentin's conversation with Gaitog wasn't a random encounter, but a carefully planned distraction, giving his Russian friends the perfect window to strike. Of course, it's still speculation for now, but something about Valentin's connections isn't adding up. Meanwhile, Greg and Belinda's situation is escalating fast. Greg isn't just keeping an eye on Belinda, he's studying her, watching her every move. More concerning, he's now looking into her son, Zion. It's becoming clear that if Belinda starts digging into Greg's past in front of the wrong people, he's already planning how to handle it. And if we've learned anything from Greg, we know he isn't afraid to eliminate loose ends. Then there's Timothy, who is in absolute free fall. His accomplice has turned on him, cooperating with the FBI, and everything he built is crumbling. The money's gone. His house is gone. His entire life is collapsing. But the most shocking part? Just before declaring, "I'd rather die than go to prison," he steals Gaitog's gun. The question now is, what does he plan to do with it? Gaitog, meanwhile, is once again caught in the middle of things. Still as kind and smiley as ever, he finds himself roped into trouble just by being too nice. Meanwhile, Rick finally confesses to Chelsea the real reason they came to Thailand. As expected, he came searching for Jim Hollinger, the White Lotus Thailand resort co-owner, who he believes is responsible for his father's murder. But something feels off. Could the real twist be that Jim isn't the killer at all, but Rick's actual father? If so, this revenge story might be taking an unexpected turn. IMDb rates this episode 8.0. I personally think it is well-deserved. Sure, this season has been a slow burn, but this episode definitely ignited the fire of next massive explosive episodes. And as they say, people come to Thailand for two reasons. They're either looking for something or hiding from something. So let's find out who's seeking, who's hiding, and who's about to get caught in our quick episode 4 recap. As the episode opens, Jacqueline is struggling to get her young husband Harrison on the phone, while Belinda reassures Zion she can't wait for him to join her in Thailand. Meanwhile, Timothy takes another depressingly long shower, popping yet another one of Victoria's pills. Elsewhere, Gaitog thinks he might be getting a promotion. But instead, Fabian gives him a reality check. Your job is more than just waving to people at the gate. To drive the point home, Gaitog's security supervisor hands him a gun and tells him to learn how to use it. Why do we have the worst feeling about this? While Saxon and Piper are bickering, Victoria realizes her pills are missing. She needs them for the upcoming boat ride Saxon arranged. As if things couldn't get worse, a woozy Timothy lets his robe slip open in front of his family. A truly scarring moment for everyone involved. Meanwhile, Chelsea is still shaken from the cobra bite, joking. This could be some Final Destination shit. Rick, on the other hand, wants nothing to do with this boat trip. But since his flight to Bangkok isn't until later, Chelsea somehow convinces him to come along. In the lobby, they run into Amrita, who, in classic guru fashion, tells Rick, "You have touched my heart. Find peace in this life. I have hope for you." Meanwhile, the Ratliffs arrive at the yacht, and Saxon gets a warm welcome from Chloe. But as soon as Timothy realizes that Rick is also on the boat, his mood darkens. Without hesitation, he makes a beeline for Victoria's purse, digging through it for more pills. With Harrison ignoring her calls, Jacqueline decides it's time to have some fun. She asks Valentin for recommendations, but when she and the girls arrive, they find themselves in a resort filled with retirees. Naturally, she's insulted. Meanwhile, Piper confesses to Lachlan that she's planning to spend a year in Thailand after graduation. She wants to break the news to their parents at dinner and asks for his support. But before Lachlan can respond, Saxon pulls him away, urging him to flirt with the women on the boat. Lachlan hesitates. "Aren't they married?" he asks. Saxon shrugs. "Whatever, who cares?" On the boat, the vibe is questionable. It's mostly older bald men and young Thai women, while a heavily medicated Timothy starts rambling about his past. Thank God my parents are dead, he blurts out, slurring his words. Meanwhile, Victoria loses it when she realizes her pills are missing, snapping, I'm stuck on a boat I don't want to be on with people I don't want to talk to. While everyone else is unraveling, Rick finally breaks down and tells Chelsea the truth. The guy who murdered my father owns this hotel. Rick's father was in Thailand, trying to help people, but one day he just disappeared. Rick's mother later told him that Shritala's husband was responsible, and now Rick doesn't know if he wants to kill him or not. Back at the hotel, Jacqueline confronts Valentin about sending them to that retirement resort. He makes it up to them by taking them to a lively Thai market, and later promises to bring his Russian friends to meet them at a beach club. Enter Alexei and Vlad, who show up promising, we know how to make fun. Meanwhile, Belinda is doing some digging of her own. She learns that Tanya drowned under suspicious circumstances and that her husband is still wanted for questioning. On the yacht, Chloe wants to head to a full moon party, but Greg has business to take care of and insists on being dropped off first. As he leaves, he crosses paths with Timothy, who ominously states, everyone in Thailand is either looking for something or hiding from something. When the boat docks, Saxon and Lachlan decide to stay with Chloe for the party, leaving Piper frustrated and alone. Chelsea, despite her concerns, joins them too, while Rick stays behind, locked in his own moral battle. At dinner, Victoria scoffs at the con men and tax cheats from the yacht, calling Timothy an actual Boy Scout. That's enough to set Timothy off. He storms over to Pam and demands his phone back. As soon as he turns it on, it explodes with messages. His lawyer delivers the final blow. His accomplice struck a deal. The only option now is to plead guilty. Timothy panics. Then, as he hyperventilates, he notices something. The security booth is empty. By the time Gaidik returns, the gun is gone. And as Saxon raises his glass at the yacht party, he grins and says,
Shit's about to get crazy!
And he's absolutely right.